dear students, let's continue with our explanation. Now we come to rusting of iron. So this is a very common thing. All of you must have observed how iron articles gets rusted, isn't it? This is one change that affects iron articles, slowly destroys them. Okay, so it will affect the iron article and it will slowly eat up the iron. So as I told you earlier, rust is not iron, rust is iron oxide. Okay, so what happens is iron reacts with oxygen and it reacts with water vapor that is present in the atmosphere and it forms iron oxide. So that iron oxide, a layer is developed over the iron. Okay, so when that layer is developed over the iron, what happens to it is, it will eat up the iron slowly and the whole iron will be eaten up one day and what will develop is, rust. Okay, rust is a brownish powder, okay, that develops over the iron. Now since iron is used in making bridges, ships, cars, truck bodies and many other articles, the monetary loss due to rusting is huge. Okay, the loss of money due to rusting, it is huge. Okay, because iron is used everywhere. Why iron is used in everywhere? Because iron is very strong metal. It is a very strong metal. It is used in making bridges, ships, cars, truck and many other articles. Okay, so that is why if you don't take care of these substances, what is going to happen? Iron oxide will develop and it will automatically rust. Okay, so how will you take care of it? You have to paint the iron now and then. Okay, so if you paint the iron, you make a layer between the iron and the atmosphere, isn't it? Paint is what? It will be an artificial layer between the iron and the atmosphere. So since an artificial layer is developed between the iron and the atmosphere, so what is going to happen? The oxygen and water cannot directly react with iron. So in that way you can save your iron articles. Okay. Now the following rusting can be the process of rusting can be represented by this equation. Iron is Fe. Fe is the chemical formula for iron. Oxygen is O2. 2 should be down, okay. O2, 2 has to be down from the air plus water, that is H2O. 2 has to be down. It gives you rust, iron oxide. Iron oxide is Fe2O3. So 2 has to be down, O, then 3 has to be down. Okay. So this equation is very important. You can check on the internet also the equation for rusting, but it is very important. Now this is rusting. You can see, okay, this was an article made up of iron. Can you see this brownish layer developing over the article? That is rust. These are iron nails. So can you see, actually iron nails when you buy from the market, it is grey in color. But what has happened to these nails? It has become brown. So what is that brown layer? The brown layer is iron oxide. Okay, so when you touch the rusted nail, you will find that the brown powder will be stuck to your fingers also. Okay, so that means the whole thing, it has become a powder now. Slowly, the whole thing will become powder. If you don't paint them or if you keep using them, then it will be of no use now. Okay, after it has rusted. Now for rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water is essential. Now it is very important that if only oxygen is present or only water is present, okay, then the process of rusting will not occur. Both oxygen and water has to be present for the process of rusting to occur. Okay, am I clear? Now when there is more humidity, like in Assam we have more humidity, but in Delhi we have very less humidity, right? Humidity means what? The amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. Now in Assam, the rusting process will be more because the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere is more. But in case of Delhi, the rusting process will be less because the amount of water vapor present is less. Am I clear? Okay. So in fact, if the content of moisture in air is high, which means if it is more humid, rusting becomes faster. Like in Assam, rusting will be more fast compared to Delhi because in Delhi the humidity is less. Okay, so that is why you have to be more careful when you are staying in a more humid area. Now prevention of rusting, how can you prevent rusting? Prevent iron articles from coming in contact with oxygen or water or both. Okay, so how do you do that? One simple way is to apply a coat of paint or grease. Okay, so anything on top of iron you have to coat it. If you don't coat it, then it will be in direct contact with the atmosphere. So either you coat it with grease or you coat it with a layer of paint. In fact, these coats should be applied regularly. It's not that once you have painted and you have left it like that. No. it has to be done on a regular basis. Suppose every alternate month or maybe after 2-3 months, okay, you have to keep on painting, okay. Another way is to deposit a layer of metal like chromium or zinc on iron. So one more thing you can do is either you coat it with paint, or on top of iron you coat it with a different layer of metal. So that can be either chromium metal or zinc metal, okay, on top of iron, so that air will come in contact with only chromium or zinc. It will not come in contact with iron. Okay, so in that way it is also prevented. So this process, okay, by which you can coat a layer on iron, that is called electroplating or galvanization. Okay, so these you will study later. So we'll continue with the explanation in the next slides. Thank you.